Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Suraya binti SUPIAN. The name of our group is Blink and we are from the class AM2284H. This is my teammates, which is KHALYSHAH, AIMAN and MAIZATUL NAZIRAH. For this project, we have chosen the jewelry business, which is we name it as chainy. Chainy is based on mass chains product, which can be used as a necklace and accessories. And what we are about to present is the sales of the business in 2020. For the first part here, can be seen a table that is showing the types, quantity, images, price per unit and total sales of the product that has been sold for 2020. The images are inserted through hyperlinks, which made it easier to access. As for the calculation on the sum of total sale, it was easy to get as we used the sum function and it will calculate for you by choosing the column you want to calculate. And for the bar chart below the table, it was obtained through choosing the types, quantity and price per unit data. And on the right, there are two general bar charts as well, which is made by selecting the types and quantity data, and the red chart is to show the chart of the data total sale by types. Next is the second part. In this table, we have the extended version of the table, which we added the discount price of 5%, price after discount, and the total sale after discount, in which the discount price was calculated through a formula, and this applies to the price after discount. The sum of total sale after discount was calculated similarly to the previous sum of total sale, which is calculated through the sum function. On the right, there's another red bar chart below the blue bar chart, and it is to show the total sale of the products after discount by types.
Assalamualaikum, my name is MAIZATUL NAZIRAH binti OSMAN. So in this part, I will present one of the Excel function, which is if function. If function is actually allow us to make logical comparison between a value and what we expect. So for our business, we expecting to sell more than 300 quantities for each of our products. In order to see whether we achieve our expectation or not, we go to our Excel and go to the function button. Insert the if function and it will show the function arguments. In this section, we have to fill in the logical test with row and column of our quantity, which is D5. And since we are expecting to sell more than 300 products, so we type it like this. We insert yes if the value is more than 300 is true, and no is the value if false. Then we click OK. Then this is the result. In this section, we add a new column in our Excel table, which is status, to see which type of our product is fancy and not fancy. So to determine which one is fancy and not fancy, we use the same if function just like in the previous slide. We set up if the price per unit 8 ringgit and more, it is fancy, and if the price is below than 8 ringgit, is not fancy. This is what we got. Most of it is considered as fancy except for one product. Next, to determine the number of type of products, we use count. So we go to the function and choose count. Select row and column of the products. So in this table, we choose D5 until D15. Then we got 11. So there is 11 types of product. Other than that, if we want to count the number of the product that the price is more than 8 ringgit, we use COUNTIF. COUNTIF an Excel function to count cells in a range that meet a single condition. So we use the COUNTIF function, select the range that we want. In this case, we use price per unit, so we select F5 until F15. Then for the criteria, we write more than 8. Then we got 5. Same goes to determine number of type for the product that less than 8 ringgit 50 cent. We use the same method, but for the criteria, we write less than 8 ringgit 50 cent. Then we got 6. Now move on to the next function, which is SUMIF. SUMIF will sum up the cell that meet the given criteria. So we want to calculate the total sale of fancy chainy and not fancy chainy. So we use SUMIF function and put the range with G5 until G15. For the criteria, we write fancy, and for the sum range, we select J5 until J15. This method also can be used to determine total sale of non-fancy chainy, but only the criteria we can change to not fancy. And this is what we got for both.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aima binti SHAHFIEE, and in this slide I'm going to explain the filtering and data validation of chainy sales company for 2020. First of all, for the data filtering, is the process of choosing a smaller part of data set and using the subset for viewing or analysis. Filters can be used to narrow down the data in worksheet and allowing to view easily the information that needed only. Okay, so here we look for the table, the default table of our sale, to start filtering the data. Okay, by highlighting the whole data and then click for the data here. Here is the button filter, and just click on it. So it will appear the arrow for each of the columns. So here we have the data that we want to filter, and we choose the quantity by selecting the amount that we want to choose. For example, first we need to unselect all and then choose the only amount that we want. So we choose 200, 300, 400, all the quantity except the 100 quantity, and then click OK. So here there's only a certain data that accept the 100 quantities. So also we can sort the quantity from the smallest one to the largest one by choosing the sort button, and then sort by, we click the quantity order, we choose the smallest to the largest quantity that we have sold. So here we can see the smallest quantity to the largest quantity, and the black chain has sold the lowest quantity, which is 200, and then the most quantity they have sold is the gold chain type. Okay, that's for the data validation. Data filtering. So now we moving on for the data validation. So for the data validation, it allows the user to control the type of the data entered into the worksheet. It also allows the limit data, the entries of a selection from a drop-down list, and to restrict certain data entries such as the text or number outside of the range data. So here there is two new columns which represent the data validation. To determine whether there are the valid data, and we need to insert the Excel formulas here. First of all, we can clear for the data. Okay, to find the validate text, we click the formula, and here is the is number. We click for the is number. For the value, we need to insert the black chain because it only valid for the text. So for the black chain, which is located in C5. Then we press OK. So the result will shows false. To determine the whole value, we just need to highlight it down. So the whole result will represent false. So same goes for the quantity. Quantity is represent for the number. So same method have been choose, which is click the Excel function, which is the is number. The value, we need to click the quantity value for the E5, and then it will choose the true result, and then we just need to highlight it down, and then it shows the true result. So that's all for the data validation. Okay, in this part I'm going to explain the VLOOKUP training sales for 2020. And first of all, VLOOKUP, also known as a vertical lookup, is a function that makes Excel search for a certain value in a column in order to return a value from a different column in the same row. So here we have made a new table to categorize the type of the product, which are from the really expensive, normal, and affordable. And each of the category represent the price per unit of the product. So here is the grade. The grade category has started A plus, followed by A solid, B plus, and B minus. Okay, next, to find the category value and for the grade for all of the types of the product, we need to click for the F function, and then click for the VLOOKUP. For the value, we need to click for the price per unit for the black chain, which is E5, and then for the table array, we have highlighted the table here and name it as a category chainee, and the number column we have stated for the 2, which is the category, and the range lookup stated for default. Click OK, and then it shows the really expensive until the affordable one. So this method, same goes for the grade, same value, same method, and then it shows for the whole grade for each of the products.
Assalamualaikum, my name is KHALYSHAH MUKHLIS, and I'll be explaining about the Excel function for pivot table. So pivot table is a table that will summarize the data, and it will come packaged with a chart that lets us to explore the trends based on the information that we want to extract it from the table that we have. So here I only extract the row labels, which is the products, the chains, the sum of price per unit, and sum of quantity. And up here is the chart, just how I said just now. The pivot table will come along with a chart. So here's is a trending chart for the sum of price per unit and sum of quantity. Okay, so for the second pivot table here, I want to extract the products with the sum of quantity, sum of price per unit, sum of discount price 5%, and sum of total sale after discount. And the pivot table will do its work. And once we have selected the information that we want to extract to be in the pivot table, then once we done with choosing the information, the chart will also comes with the table. So up here is the trending chart for the sum of quantity, sum of price per unit, sum of discount price 5%, and sum of total sale after discount. And that's all from us, Links. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum.